To the rest of the world, Canada is an Eden. It is a land of endless horizons, pristine alpine rivers, and ancient towering forests where the air is pure and the silence is comforting. Every year, millions of hikers, campers, and adventurers pack their gear, eager to lose themselves in this breathtaking frontier. They see it as a playground, a place to escape the noise of modern life and reconnect with the earth. But there is a thin, fragile line between a dream vacation and a desperate fight for survival. When you step off the paved roads and into the deep backcountry, the rules of civilization no longer apply. You are no longer protected by the laws of man, and you are certainly no longer at the top of the food chain. You have entered a realm ruled by raw power, ancient instincts, and millions of years of evolutionary perfection. Here the shadows are alive, and survival is not guaranteed. From the mountain peaks of the west to the frozen, unforgiving expanses of the far north, these are the five most dangerous animals in Canada. They do not negotiate, they do not show mercy, and if you don't know how to handle them, your first encounter might very well be your last. This is the grizzly bear. Unlike its smaller cousin, the black bear, which evolved to climb trees to escape danger, the grizzly evolved in the wide-open tree-sparse plains of the Pleistocene. Because it had nowhere to hide, its evolutionary response to any perceived threat became simple, direct, and devastating. Absolute, overwhelming aggression. If you startle a grizzly, it won't run. It will defend its territory, its cubs, or its food cache with terrifying violence. And this aggression peaks during the late summer and autumn, a physiological state known as hyperphagia. During this time, the bear's brain is driven by a desperate, insatiable urge to consume up to 20,000 calories a day to prepare for hibernation. Their patience vanishes, and their drive to protect resources skyrockets. Do not let their bulk fool you. A grizzly can sprint at an astonishing speed of 35 miles per hour. That is fast enough to outrun a racehorse in a short distance and significantly faster than the fastest human on Earth. If you run, you die. Running triggers their chase instinct, turning you from an intruder into running prey. When we think of dangerous wildlife, our minds naturally drift to creatures with razor-sharp teeth, glowing eyes, and predatory instincts. But in the Canadian wilderness, one of the most feared and destructive forces is an animal that eats nothing but leaves, twigs, and aquatic plants. The moose. To the untrained eye of a tourist, the moose looks like a slow, awkward, almost comical giant. But ask any Canadian park ranger or seasoned woodsman, and they will tell you the truth. The moose is a ticking time bomb. They are responsible for more physical attacks on humans in North America than wolves and bears combined. A fully grown bull moose can stand over 7 feet tall at the shoulder, with their antlers alone sprawling up to 6 feet across. They can weigh upwards of 1,500 pounds. Unlike predators, which are calculating and tend to avoid unnecessary fights to save precious energy, herbivores like the moose are highly reactive, deeply paranoid, and possess incredibly poor eyesight. They don't want to hunt you. They want to obliterate any potential threat before it can harm them. It makes them a double threat. On the road, they are a driver's worst nightmare. Because their center of gravity is so high, a collision with a moose does not deflect off the bumper. Instead, the vehicle's hood sweeps under the moose's legs, sending its massive torso directly through the front windshield, crushing the cabin and the passengers inside. On foot, they are even more volatile. Their hooves are sharp, heavy, and split like chisels. Unlike horses, which kick backward, moose can kick in all directions, including forward and sideways, delivering blows powerful enough to crack a wolf's skull or shatter a human chest cavity. If a moose charges you, do not stand your ground and do not play dead. You must run and place a large obstacle, like a massive tree or a boulder, between you and the charging giant. They do not have the agility to pivot quickly, allowing you to escape their path of destruction. If you hike deep enough into the northern boreal forests of Canada, the silence can become deafening. Sometimes you might feel a strange, sudden prickle on the back of your neck, a cold sensation that you are no longer alone. You stop, you look behind you. There is nothing but the falling snow and the ancient trees, but your primal instincts aren't lying to you. You are being watched not by a single desperate beast, but by one of the most highly coordinated, tactically brilliant hunting units on the face of the planet. The wolves. A single wolf is a formidable predator, but the true danger lies in their collective intelligence. Wolves are masters of psychological warfare, stamina, and strategic coordination. They do not rely on a sudden explosive ambush. Instead, they play the long game. They hunt by exhaustion. When a pack targets an animal or views a human as a threat or potential food source, they will shadow them for miles. They test their target's defenses, looking for a slip, a stumble, or a moment of sheer panic. They use advanced pincer maneuvers. One wolf will show itself openly to distract your attention, while others quietly flank you through the brush, cutting off your escape routes and trapping you in an invisible pocket. They are built for extreme distance, capable of jogging at 5 to 10 miles per hour for entire days, without tiring, slowly wearing down their victims' physical and mental resolve until they are too exhausted to fight back. While healthy, wild wolves generally avoid human contact. A pack that has lost its fear of humans through habituation, or one facing a harsh, desperate winter where food is scarce, is a terrifying reality. When they strike, they do not jump for the throat immediately. They target the flanks, hamstringing their prey to bring it down. By the time you realize the trap has been sprung, the pack has already closed the circle, and the shadows have turned into teeth. To find Canada's most relentless and apex predator, we must travel beyond the northern forests, past the tree line, to the frozen, hostile edges of the habitable world. Here, in the brutal wind-scoured expanses of the Arctic, lives a predator that holds a dark, terrifying distinction: the polar bear. Unlike grizzlies, which are omnivores and spend most of their time eating berries, roots, and insects, polar bears are hyper-carnivores. They live in an icy desert where resources are incredibly scarce. In this frozen wasteland, survival means eating anything that moves, and that includes you. Polar bears are the largest land carnivores on Earth, with large males weighing up to 1,500 pounds and standing over 10 feet tall. But what makes them uniquely dangerous is their cold, analytical psychology. Most predators have evolved a natural, deep-seated fear of humans due to centuries of hunting and conflict. But polar bears live in areas so remote that they have never learned to fear us. To a polar bear, a human is not a dangerous tool user. We are simply a slow, defenseless, fat-rich prey item, no different from a ringed seal. They do not see us as an enemy to scare away. They see us as calories. While the polar bear rules the frozen north, another predator commands the shadows of Canada's western mountains and coastal rainforests. An animal so silent, so elusive, that it is often called the ghost cat. The cougar, also known as the mountain lion or puma. This is the ultimate master of stealth. Cougars are solitary, patient, and highly calculated ambush predators. They do not run their prey down over miles, and they do not hunt in packs. They rely on one thing: complete and absolute surprise. A cougar's entire biology is designed for the perfect ambush. Their hind legs are longer than their front legs, giving them incredible spring-loaded power. A cougar can leap an astonishing 40 feet horizontally and jump 15 feet straight up into a tree canopy from a complete standstill. When a cougar hunts, it will stalk its target from behind, utilizing the thick undergrowth, rocky ledges, or low tree branches to stay completely out of sight. It will follow a hiker for miles, waiting for the perfect moment of vulnerability, such as when they bend down to tie a shoe or sit to rest. When it strikes, it doesn't run up from behind. It launches itself from a high vantage point, landing directly on its victim's back.